Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. Well, hello, everybody out there in Facebook and everywhere else land. Welcome. I think this is, what are we on, Travis? Episode 11 here? Is this...
Close. This is episode 10.
Episode 10 with a couple of extras thrown in there, I guess, huh?
Wow, yeah.
We are, man, I am super stoked to be here. I want to welcome my guest, co-host. I said guest host. Co-host, this is my son and realtor extraordinaire, C3. What's going on there, brother?
What's going on?
How you doing, my man? And Trelvis back there, manning the guns today. Trelvis, what's going on back there in the gun room, man? How was
man.
You got anything good planned this weekend?
You know what? I got a lot of rest planned this weekend. This weekend is going to be a restful one.
Well, I'll tell you what, you do work hard. I know that for sure. I know you got another job spinning records and stuff on a radio station, local radio station here, and that's awesome. Well, we'll be thinking about you. We're going to head down to Houston and catch Mick Jagger before he has to go back into the hospital and get his heart tuned up again.
Yeah, I heard you were headed to the show this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, listen, I do want to let you guys know that we've got an unbelievable show ready to go for you here today. I'm so excited you're here. Please, if you would, go ahead and set your phone on stun or airplane mode. Just you don't want to be distracted at all. Get your pen and a legal pad full of paper because you're going to want to take tons of notes with the guests that we have on our show today. And I got to tell you, I think everybody probably can remember somebody in their life or in their career that has had a major impact on where they are now. And I got to tell you what, the gentleman that's on our show today, and I'm going to read his bio here in a minute, but he's a personal friend of mine who I've gotten to know really, really well the last few years. And, God puts people in your path sometimes, and it's just a blessing. And I got to tell you that's what happened here. And Brent Gove and I got to know each other a few years back, and then he came to me, I guess a little over 2 years ago with an opportunity, and that opportunity absolutely changed my entire life, and I'm grateful forever for that. But I want to read you just a little bit about this gentleman's history here. So in 2005, he had a real estate team that completed 429 transactions, accounting for approximately $169 million in sales volume, which positioned him as the number 2 agent in the state of California and number 11 worldwide for RE/MAX. That's out of 128,000 agents. That's a lot of agents, Travis.
No, it sounds like it. You can definitely tell.
Yeah. He also served as CEO and team leader of the Roseville, California Market Center for Keller Williams Realty, which was the most profitable market center nationally during his tenure for the first quarter of 2010. For more than 10 years, he hosted his own show called The Real Estate Report with Brent Gove on Northern California's #1 talk radio station and one of the top 15 AM stations in the United States, KFBK 1530 AM. And then in 2015, Mr. Gove joined other leading real estate experts in co-authoring a book, Top Dollar. And he's also written a book, the #1 selling book, Momentum, is the one that I have, Brent. I don't know if you've written more than that on real estate, but if you don't own Momentum in your library and you're in the real estate business, you need to go find it. It's one of the best books that I've seen written on real estate. So without further ado, if we could, let's bring on, there he is, Mr. Brent Gove. How you doing out there in Sacramento? We love you, man.
I'm doing great. Good to be on, Cliff and C3. Pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we're here and we want to drop some serious value today, Brent, on our audience that are watching live on Facebook right now and will be watching on the replay. And one of the things that you have done is you've got an extraordinary team there in Sacramento. And what's unique about it is you kind of go a little bit outside of the traditional team model. So I want to drill down into some of the things that you do for a team. But what I also want to do is I want to realize that we've got some agents out there who may not right now be in a position to build a team as big as yours. And so I kind of want to roll the film back here a little bit and rewind back to when you first got in the real estate business. Brent, can you kind of walk us through that and tell us a little bit about why you got in the business and what your motivation was when you first started?
Sure, yeah. A friend of mine called me. I was 30 years old. I'm 53 now, so it's about 23 years ago. And he said, hey, you should get your real estate license. You'd be great. You can make some great money. And I'm like, really? Real estate? I'd never even considered it. And so I asked him questions. And he said, yeah. I go, how do you make money? He says, well, if you sell a home for $100,000, which tells you how long it's been. He goes, you get 3% commission. Now it's 2.5%, but it used to be 3% in the MLS. The broker gets half. They get $1,500 and you get $1,500. And he said, yeah, it's great. And you could, I go, do you think I could sell at least one home a month? He goes, yeah, easy. You make an extra $1,500 a month. So I got in just to make a few extra bucks like a lot of people. And, it was funny. By the way, they were stringing me along with this $100,000 home business. It was 2 years before I sold a home over $100,000. All the homes in California were $58,000, $68,000, $78,000. I remember I broke into the high-end market at $88,000, $94,000. I was so excited. And then after 2 years, I finally hit the luxury market. I sold a home in a rural area on an acre and a half for $128,000 here in California, a suburb of Sacramento. I was in the big times, and I was thrilled. I might as well have been $1 million house. Is that funny? That's how much prices have changed in 23 years.
It is crazy, isn't it? I mean, young man like this getting in the business now with prices where they are, it's crazy. And the thing about it is that that's kind of like a built-in raise every year as home prices have escalated and gone up. People in our business have gotten an automatic raise, except for the fact that obviously there's been pressure on commissions. But, it really is incredible. So now, we've got people out there in the audience that are in their first year in the business right now, Brent, and you've been doing this. You're a veteran. You're a titan. You are really you're going to be a Hall of Famer. You already are a Hall of Famer in my book. But what advice could you give somebody? I just want to really just start pouring it out on our audience. What is the best piece of advice that you could give someone who's in their first year in real estate right now who may be struggling a little bit, hasn't quite hit their stride?
Right. I would say write this down. Master lead generation. Figure it out. Whether you're a door knocker, you call the expired, you do the Brian Buffini, Joe Stump, by referral only, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, whatever it is you do. I was an open house guy, mastered it in 1 year myself with my showing agents and team. We sold 318 homes in a single year from strangers we met at open houses. So that's we do it completely different. A lot of you hate open houses, and I would too. I hated them too when I did them like you do them and the way I used to do them. But so I would say find a form of lead generation, whether it's marketing, whether it's internet leads, whatever it is, and master it. And when I mastered, for me, open houses, I think my fourth year, I did 48 sales and made almost $400,000, $393,000 back when home prices were low. And then I went on to start teaching. I hired 3 agents the next year and went from 48 to 108, then 180, then 220, then 280, then 340, then over 400 sales a year, 427, I think. And that was good. That was in 05 when home prices were like up there. That was a $3.8 million income year. But it starts with mastering a form of lead generation, applying massive action, getting good quick. That's my advice if you're brand new. And the reason you're struggling is you're not doing that.
Okay. So a lot of people don't know where to go or who to turn to for help. How important is it to find the right mentor to help you get on the right track? Because, there's so many different people trying to sell leads to real estate agents and squirrels in our business. So many different paths you can go down. What kind of advice would you offer someone in terms of a leader to follow and support?
Yep. Well, I mean, if you're brand new, unless you have serious social skills, and even if you have a very high social IQ and you're very good with people, you don't know what to do. So I always tell people, for those that are struggling and you're in your first year or two, if you have not joined somebody, joined a human being who's a star, 10, 20, 30-year veteran, they have good energy, they're killing it, they're well known in the marketplace, go to work for them for free if you have to. I mean, I'm sure you could get at least a 50-50 split. They go, well, guy, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Really? How's it working out for you? You're struggling, right? So I'd rather bring that superstar with me on a listing appointment for $800,000 and get the listing than to go on the listing appointment by myself, not get the listing and keep 100% of nothing. I'd rather have 50% of something. And by the way, at 3% of 800, that's $24,000. Your 50% is $12,000. That is something. It's nothing to shake a stick at. So that's my advice there.
Yeah, and so that's not really new math. I mean, we're not preaching anything that's this crazy new math you're teaching in schools these days. But it's like you said, 100% and nothing is still zero. And so, if you can get an education, and it's a shame because you can go to college and you can major in real estate and not have any of the skills that you need to go out and be successful in real estate sales. That's something that's a lot of that's on the job training, Brent. And so you've been a master at finding great talent to bring onto your team, and you're their mentor, and you help them and encourage them and get their skill set up. What would you attribute? What's the single most important thing, Brent, that you do as a team leader that has catapulted you to this massive success?
Number one, if you're taking notes, surround yourself with talent. First thing you need is a personal assistant. You don't have one, you are one. They're $14 an hour. That's what you're worth. You're worth $14 an hour. I can't afford it. You can't afford not to, because you will forget to call back that $600,000 buyer lead or that $600,000 listing lead. And guess what? You just lost $18,000 because you quote unquote couldn't afford it. Well, I couldn't afford to be dropping those $18,000 balls because they'll shatter. The money's gone forever. Oh, we listed with somebody else. We didn't hear back from you. And you were busy calling the pest company, the lender, the appraiser, the photographer, the sign company, all the BS stuff that needs to get done that you don't need to do. But you're a control freak and you have this mindset, I can't afford it. And so I want to encourage you, get an assistant. And then once you kind of rocking that, I mean, my net income tripled within 3 months of hiring my assistant. I hired her 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, not even full time. She wanted part time. I wanted part time. I was the answer to her prayers. She was the answer to my prayers. Within 3 months, my net income tripled. So get an assistant and then leverage through hiring your first buyer's agent.
Okay, so just to be clear, the assistant comes before the buyer's agent, because a lot of people are quick to think that, hey, if I get a buyer's agent on board, that's going to be additional income, additional revenue into my company right now, right? Why is that a mistake, Brent?
Well, I mean, if you have an assistant who's dialed in, she's going to help you with that buyer's agent. So it's you and your assistant helping that buyer's agent. They feel more like joining a team. They're part of something instead of just you. And then you'll be so busy doing all your administrative work for yourself, and now for that buyer's agent, you'll find your own personal sales will slack off. So I think you need to be dialed in. And I was selling 48 homes a year, with a personal assistant, making $393,000 a year, and she was working 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now within 3 months, I said, "Hey, you want to go full time? I could use the help." She goes, "Yeah." And so she went full time, and I didn't double her pay; I tripled it. And because my net income tripled, I took care of her. And I think when she finished working for me 5 years later, she was making $8,000 a month as my personal assistant, almost $100,000 a year. she was invaluable to me. I was happy to pay that to her.
So now let's fast forward to this year. Actually, it's been sooner than this year, but you have a gentleman that you've basically partnered with. He's a great guy, James, one of my favorite people in the world. And aside from you guys playing golf every Friday, James really has sort of filled that head of operations role on your team. Is that how you would describe James now? Is he kind of like the operations head?
He was my chief operating officer, my COO. Actually made him a partner now. He owns a corporation, and I kind of partner with him in his corporation. And there's lots of reasons to do that tax-wise. But so he went from being my chief operating officer to my a partner. But yes, he still oversees everything. We have 24 agents today, 17 buyer specialists, 7 listing specialists. I don't work with buyers. I don't work with sellers. Complete and total 7th level for a year and a half now. Greatest thing in the world. And I love buyers and sellers, but I love my family more. Yesterday I was swimming in the pool with my wife at 2:30 in the afternoon. Not a care in the world. The waterfall's going. Last night we had the fire pit going. The kids. I mean, it was just so much fun when you don't have to worry about it. But I mean, I worked hard to put it together.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And you know that you say the 7th level. Obviously, we're talking about a term that was coined in Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, where that's actually the point where you can ostensibly, good SAT word, Trellis, right there. Yep, you like that one?
I'll write that one down.
Ostensibly, yes.
I'm writing it down as we speak.
All right. So ostensibly, you could step out of your business and have it run on automatic pilot. Now, most of us who've tried that find that it's like being a restaurant owner, okay, and deciding at some point, well, I've had it, you know, I'm gonna step out of the restaurant business and I'm gonna hire somebody to come in and run it. And then what happens 3 months later? The people stop showing up, the restaurant goes to pot, and nothing happens. How do you maintain that level of customer experience, that operational quality that you guys have without you being there? I mean, you're just now sort of sharing your vision with these folks, but how do you make that transition out of the business? What's the secret, Brent?
Well, for me, what I did was I hired my best agent. Everybody loves Krista, and I had 9 agents that were completely like rock, had been with me 8, 10, 12 years. But then I hired Krista to take care of about 10 other agents that needed more hand-holding, more support. And I simply paid her to be that for them. Paid her pretty good too, but she paid her well enough to where they want to go on a listing appointment, she's there. They need help writing an offer, she's there. And so she became me. She started making literally probably 10, 15,000 a month extra. Like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Well, you can afford it if you have those buyer's agents in place. And so I did, and it is wonderful. The team's happy. We have 100% retention. I came to EXP 2.5 years ago with 18 agents. They're all still here today. I have 24. I've actually grown it by 6. Turned away about 30. We're very picky about our culture. But we work with, we want agents with good energy, agents that we want to hang out with in Maui, because we go to Maui every year as a team. We spent 9 days in Maui this year. Then coming up, we're going to the Caribbean. I have 23 cabins. We're on the Allure, Royal Caribbean's largest boat. And we're going to spend 8 days in the Caribbean. Got to get there a day early, and of course, a 7-day cruise. We travel together. We have fun together. So I don't want to bring them on vacation. They're not coming on the team. You got to be fun, loving, outgoing. And then, of course, I disc test them. And I like the high I, high D, not high D, high I. And if you don't understand the disc test, you need to learn it. High Ds take over the world. They don't work for me because they will quit your team and leave very quickly. They're generals. They'll work with you for 6 months to a year and they are gone, has been my experience. So I hire the high I. The high I loves being on a team. They're team players. I myself am a very high I. I max the chart. If you want to go to Tahiti tomorrow and I can swing it, I'm getting on a plane and go party with you in Tahiti and have fun. So people first is I, and they love being on teams. My D is also extremely high. My I and D are like right here, but my I is a little bit above. So when I hire high I, outgoing, people first, people loving, people with a ton of D, so the drive to get it going. If you hire a high I and low D, they'll show property to people, love them. Half a year later, I can't get them to write an offer. That's because their D is low. So my secret sauce for hiring is I only hire high I, high D, but the I must be higher than the D, so they value people, because the high D is like, they'll just blow people out of the water. They're intense. High Ds are CEOs of companies. They're the most successful people in the world. They're just not going to be on my team.
Right. Yeah, and so, Patrick Lencioni says to be a good team member, you need to be hungry, humble, and smart. And now we're going to add to that, you got to be a high I with a slightly lower D, right?
Yeah, medium to high D. Medium to high D.
Medium to high D.
But it can't be higher than the I. I don't enjoy working with the high Ds on my team. Our team's very close. And so that's my secret sauce, is hiring high Is with a bunch of D. How about that?
That's great. So, that's great advice. If you don't understand the DISC assessment, the behavior analysis, and so forth, please reach out to me. You guys know, in the audience, know how to get a hold of me. We use it extensively in coaching and in training, and it's really a great predictor. In fact, Brent, that's a better predictor of somebody's ability to succeed in a particular job role, whether it's buyer agent or listing agent or whatever, than their resume, because not everybody's had the perfect job, right? I mean, we've all, taken jobs because we needed the money, but that the behavior analysis is real. It's like raw data. It's the real thing. And there's the adaptive part and the natural part, and you can really, if you understand the difference and how to match those, and particularly for the job post that you're looking for, the job that you're trying to fill, it's a really, really powerful tool. And hey, by the way, I downloaded this, and I'm sorry it's in black and white, but this is a flyer for your cruise. The color version, I've actually taken the liberty to upload for our guests. If you go to www.getcliffsnotes.com, you can download that. And Brent, since you have it in a public domain on your website, I also, there it is. Yep. Since you were so gracious and generous, you're even putting out some of your best material. Your Brent Gove Real Estate Sales Partnership Agreement is here, and that's on your website. And I also uploaded copies of that for our guests and viewers to download. Again, if you just go to www.getcliffsnotes.com, you can get a copy of it there. And by the way, Brent, you're one of the most transparent, open, and generous guys that I've ever met. I mean, you are willing to help anybody, and have been such a great friend. And together we've really done some incredible things. You mentioned earlier about your move over to EXP. Most of the folks that have big teams that I talk to, who move over, what I've found is that a lot of them, probably the majority of them, are making that move because it's better for their agents. Tell us a little bit about why you decided that you needed to realign with a different platform, a different company to help you grow your business.
That's a great question, Cliff. Basically, I spent 20 years working for RE/MAX and Keller Williams. Was at RE/MAX for 12 years, like you said, became one of their top agents in California and in the country, in the world, actually. And it took Keller Williams 9 years to recruit me. They started in 2000, and in 2009 they succeeded. It took 9 years. When I saw the model, the EXP model, it took 2 weeks. It was just an absolute no-brainer. They always said the stock will be worthless, it'll go to zero, the company can't sustain. Well, here we are 2.5 years later. The stock is tripled. It's coming up on quadrupling. The company's now traded on the NASDAQ. And so we're doing just fine. We went from 1,400 agents in North America to 21,000 in 2.5 years. And the next 2.5 years, that 21,000 is going to go to 80,000. And then 180. So give it about 5 years, we'll be the largest real estate company in North America. All the stars are coming nationwide. The only reason more aren't coming now is because the management or the brokerage think, no, it's bad, it's not sustainable, the stock will be worthless. I was passionately told those things by people who cared about me, loved me. Same thing at RE/MAX. When I left RE/MAX after 12 years, they told me Keller Williams would destroy my career. It was a garbage brand. Nobody knows them. And sure enough, they were right. I would tell my clients, I went to KW, and I'm like, what what's that? Oh, I'm sorry, lingo. Keller Williams. It's like CB, Coldwell Banker, right? We all the acronyms. And so Keller Williams, like, you went to a paint company? No, that's Sherman Williams. Keller Williams. And I had to fight that battle. And my clients, they didn't care. I didn't lose a single client. Keller Williams, I thought I needed the Remax balloon. I just was convinced. And that's just was crazy. Nobody cared. I brought 37 escrows and listings to Keller Williams in 2009. Nobody cared. They want to know what it was. Same thing. So Remax said Keller to destroy my career. I actually enjoyed it more. No offense to you Remax agents. I've been both places. It's not even close. If you really care about education and training and culture, my experience. I'm just talking from here. I mean, I like sushi. Maybe you don't like sushi. So you can rule out everything I'm saying. It's all personal preference, but it was night and day. Keller Williams was just night and day. You can't even compare it. It's in its own universe. For me, it was a much better company. And yet people I respected at Remax were telling me how the president of the guy would destroy me. It couldn't have been more wrong. Same thing when I left Keller Williams and left their kingdom, their domain. They said EXP is bad. It's not sustainable. It's a joke. And they could not have been more wrong. It's my third year. I'll make literally millions and millions of dollars doing this. My third year. Are you kidding me? I mean, I never would have dreamed in my life. And so for my team, after 20 years of having my team, and I've had agents 8, 10, 12 years on my team, we've been at these other companies. We left Remax and Keller Williams with nothing. We were mere renters. That's all we were. We're a multifamily apartment complex. We're just renting. When I came to EXP, my team came, we became owners. We're all shareholders. A rising tide rises all ships in this baby. We're on the, it's like owning a piece of Remax International, Keller Williams International. People own franchises in little Remax stock in little Remax franchises, typically, or in Keller Williams franchises, typically, but they don't own stock. Well, we are shareholders in the parent company, EXPI World Holdings. Cliff, I know you know a lot about the stock. So was it better for my agents? Oh my gosh. So many of my agents have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 worth of stock, 80, 100, 140. I have $500,000. And I've done more, I have more. The more you do, the more you get, the more you contribute to the growth of the company. So the answer is yes, the caps are lower. My cap was 16, their cap was 8. Splits are great, 80-20. We were on a 70-30 plus 6% international. So it's actually a 36-64. Now everybody's on an 80-20, so they make more every sale. So to answer your question, it was a no-brainer. Then you throw in the stock awards and the revenue share. I mean, it's incredible. You really look at it.
Well, and the growth, the proof's in the pudding, as we say at home, right? And the growth tells the story. As you talk to agents who are with other brokerages now, I know you come across and talk to many transactions as you do. You meet a lot of people on the other side. Brent, what are some of the common things you're hearing now about? You mentioned some objections about stock and things like that. What else are you hearing that are reasons why agents are being told it's not the thing to do?
Well, we're cloud-based companies, so the company doesn't have like a corporate headquarters. We have 460 employees, but as agents, look behind me. I'm at an office. I'm in California. If I turn it this way, there is nice blue sky, beautiful day here in California. I don't have it though because it silhouettes me, but when I had a clear day, I could see the Sierra Nevada over there. And so basically, that is, we have offices. I think there's 80 offices in California alone. In Sacramento, there's probably 18 offices. The agents, we just go get our own stuff. I'm here. We just did a team meeting in the conference room that holds 40 people, secretaries. So you will have an office in Regis Corporate Suites. That's where I am. And everyone's like, well, my office is free. No, it is not free. What do you pay your broker? 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a year, 80, 100,000 a year. Yeah, they're giving you a free office. It's not free. You're paying them, and they take that money and provide you an office. We simply get our own office. You can get these for $200, $300, $400 a month. You can spend $700, $800, $900 a month. It just depends. But a private office, yours 24/7. You will be working out of an office. That's myth number one. Number two, the stock will be worthless. Apparently, nobody told the NASDAQ, and they've approved us. So we now trade daily on the NASDAQ with Apple, Cisco, Intel, everybody, PepsiCo, we're right there every day trading it over 10 something a share, almost 11 a share. Again, tripled, almost quadrupled. So that wrong again. You'll have an office. You're not working from home unless you want to work from home. And then the third one is sustainability. It's almost laughable. It's like, I don't even know how to say it. It's like people say you're going to run out of oxygen, and they're scuba divers and they're 5,000 foot deep, and they're about to run out of air in their tank, and they're saying it's not sustainable. You're going to run out of oxygen. And I'm the one sitting on the shore in a beach chair at Maui. I got lots of fresh air. We're the ones without the overhead. The problem with sustainability is massive overhead. How did that work out for Borders Books or Blockbuster or Sears Roebuck and Company or Toys R Us or 8,000 major retail chains? All the travel agents gone, wiped out, Travelocity, you name it. So Yellow Cab filed for bankruptcy. I mean, it's crazy. And so it's the funniest thing in the world, not sustainable. We don't have the overhead. We're the epitome of sustainability. We don't reach from a savings account to pay revenue share. As revenue comes in from the commission checks, revenue is paid out, shared at that point. So we don't have, and if revenue slows down, revenue share slows down. If revenue share picks up, revenue share picks up, so we can flex and move with the economy. We don't have any $50,000 commercial leases. The agents have them. I could be out of this in about 6 months. Some people do a month to month. You could be out in a month. So you get a big team with 100, 200 agents. You're 7, 5, 10-year commercial lease. Well, you can't get out of that in a month or 6 months. You have to write it out for 5 more years at $40,000, $50,000 a month. Good luck. So that's my long answer to your short question.
No, that's great, Brent. That's why they call it fixed overhead, right? Because it's fixed. That ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, hey, listen, I can tell I love your passion. You are one of the most passionate guys about real estate, about selling real estate. How much volume is your team going to do this year, Brent?
We're gonna do over 100 million. We're seeing the market just start to slow down, struggle a little in California. We've been going a boom and clip for almost 9 years now. We know real estate market's cyclical and it runs in 5 to 7 year cycles. We're coming from 9, occasionally it goes 10. So we're not at the top, but we're getting there. We're starting to feel it. My EXP team will close 28,000 sites this year, 28,000 closings. So they say, oh, nobody's selling any real estate over there. Well, how many are you closing this year? I'm closing 28,000, and excited to have you be a part of that clip in C3. So it's just such a privilege and honor to be at this company. And all we do at EXP is help other agents and brokers. We sell a ton of real estate and we help each other. We help each other and sell a ton of real estate. Lock in arms.
It's a nail on the head.
It's leaders creating leaders. And Brent, I got to tell you, I'm so grateful and so thankful to be working with you, because I know you've got a big event coming up in August, the 20th through the 22nd at the Red Rock Casino in Vegas. We're going to be there. We've got friends coming, people coming, and you're expecting a pretty big turnout. This is the cream of the cream of people in the company. How many leaders are you expecting to see attend your event, Brent?
Well, the first time we did it was 15 months ago. They go, let's just go golf in Scottsdale, have fun, play, hit the pool, and then maybe in the afternoons we'll do 2-3 hours worth of meetings and mastermind and collaborate. We had 88 people fly in from all over the U.S. on just this last-minute, spontaneous, we're meeting in Scottsdale. Let's go. Let's have fun. Were you at that meeting, Cliff?
We were there. We've been to almost every one of them. Yes, sir.
We were there. Remember, there was about 88 people, right?
Yep.
So this year we have 1,100 coming, because this model, this EXP model, is going berserk. I beg you, don't listen to your manager. Don't listen to your franchise owner. Research it on your own. You're missing the opportunity of a lifetime, because sincere people that you respect, that are passionate, are telling you this is a joke, and they couldn't be more wrong. They're vested. They can't see the forest through the trees, and it's their kingdom. They're not about to pivot. They're in, and they've signed franchise agreements. They couldn't join us if they wanted to, but you can, and you need to ask questions and research it. Make up your own mind. Do not decide, because I'm telling you what, baby, EXP is here, and we're going big time.
Well, like I said, boy, I've never seen anybody so passionate, Brent, and I'm right there alongside you. I remember you told me one thing, and because I was an independent broker for 9 years, and I thought I'd reached the top of the world at that point, and then I looked at things, and you said, you know what, you just need to do what's right for your family. And when you put it in that kind of a perspective, it makes the decision pretty easy. I've got my son in business with me now, and God has just done so many great things in my life, and I'm so thankful that he put you in my life and our lives as well. Brent, I want to thank you again.
I want to say hi to Cliff Jr. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on, Brent? I'm doing well. It's great to see you. I'm so excited for your event in August, and I'm looking forward to some great time together.
Yeah, we're trying to decide, is it too hot to bring the sticks? You like to play at 6 in the morning, though, right?
Yeah, we get out there when it's 70, 75, and we're done by 10:30, and it doesn't get hot till noon, 1, 2. So come play in our golf tournament. We're at the Red Rock 5-star resort. We'll tee it up. We'll have some fun, hit the pool, and then our event starts at 2:30 every day because we want to be together. EXP, man, making real estate fun again. We're having a blast. We don't coop you up from 8 to 5 in some beautiful location. We experience the location. We enjoy each other, and then we rock it from 2:30 to 6:30 for 4 hours. And we go out to dinner and play all night. It's gonna be a blast. Don't miss it. And if you guys don't know these two, Cliff and Cliff Jr. are superstars. I respect them. I love them. They got it going on. You have my admiration and respect. So thank you for letting me be a guest on your show. It was an absolute honor. I was blown away they asked me to be here, and it's truly a privilege. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you for dropping the huge value on our audience today, especially the behavioral characteristics some of the keys that to success that you've had. I mean, that's so valuable, and I listen to every word you speak. So just remember that. I remember everything you say, okay?
Right.
All right,
Thanks,
Brent.
guys.
Well, hey, man, much love from Dallas, Texas, all the way out to Sacramento. It was great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Just one more time, if you'd like to get copies of Brent's team agreement, as well as we got to do that cruise for our team, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
so.
Brent, we're gonna start doing the cruise for our group. I know exactly which one we're gonna do. It'll be in January, and so my team members. And by the way, we are seeking talent here in the Dallas area. If you're on a team, if you're a buyer agent, you need to get a hold of me and learn about a better way to improve your life, your family's life, and your real estate future. I'd love to speak with you. All right, so that's a wrap for the show today. Trelvis, thank you very much, sir, for running the guns back there again for us today. It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
All right, and you in the audience, God bless you. We'll see you next week, same time, same station. Y'all have a great week. Go out and crush it.